The Art of Not Overthinking. Have you ever found yourself trapped in an endless loop of what-ifs and should-haves? Do you lie awake at night replaying conversations, worrying about things beyond your control, or second-guessing every decision? If so, you're not alone. Overthinking is one of the biggest mental roadblocks that keep us stuck, anxious, and overwhelmed. But what if you could break free from this cycle? What if you could train your mind to let go of unnecessary worries, make decisions with confidence, and live with more peace and clarity? That's exactly what this book is about. In The Art of Not Overthinking, we'll explore simple yet powerful strategies to help you quiet your mind, trust yourself, and embrace life as it unfolds. You'll learn how to stop dwelling on the past, ease your anxiety about the future, and start living in the present moment. It's time to reclaim your mental peace. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Overthinking Trap. Why we get stuck in our heads. The endless loop of overthinking. Have you ever caught yourself replaying a conversation over and over, thinking about what you should have said differently? Or maybe you spend hours analyzing a simple decision, fearing that the wrong choice could lead to disaster. This is the overthinking trap, a mental cycle that keeps us stuck, anxious, and exhausted. Overthinking isn't just about thinking too much. It's about thinking in a way that creates stress, indecision, and self-doubt. Instead of solving problems, it amplifies them. Instead of helping us move forward, it keeps us stuck in a loop of endless what-ifs and should-haves. So, why do we do it? And more importantly, how can we break free? Why do we overthink? Overthinking often feels like we're being cautious or thorough. We convince ourselves that if we analyze a situation enough, we'll prevent mistakes, avoid regrets, or somehow control the outcome. But in reality, the opposite happens. We become paralyzed by indecision, overwhelmed by possibilities, and disconnected from the present moment. Here are some common reasons why we fall into the overthinking trap. Fear of failure. Many of us overthink because we're afraid of making mistakes. We want to be perfect, to get things just right, and to avoid any possibility of failure. But this fear makes even simple decisions feel overwhelming, leaving us stuck in a cycle of hesitation and self-doubt. The illusion of control. We like to believe that if we think about something long enough, we can control the outcome. But life is unpredictable, and no amount of overanalyzing can guarantee the perfect result. Instead of helping us gain control, overthinking often makes us feel more helpless. Past experiences and regrets. Our minds tend to dwell on past mistakes, replaying them in an attempt to fix what already happened. We criticize ourselves for choices we made, hoping that if we think about them enough, we'll never make the same mistake again. But this kind of thinking only keeps us trapped in guilt and regret. Anxiety about the future. Overthinking thrives on uncertainty. When we don't know what's going to happen, our minds try to predict every possible outcome, especially the worst ones. This creates unnecessary stress and makes us feel as if we have to prepare for every possible disaster, even when the worst-case scenario is unlikely. The need for external validation. Many overthinkers struggle with seeking approval from others. We replay conversations, worry about how we were perceived, and analyze every detail to make sure we didn't say or do something wrong. This constant self-evaluation can be exhausting and takes away our ability to trust ourselves. The cost of overthinking. Overthinking might seem like a harmless habit, but it comes with serious consequences. Decision paralysis. When we analyze every option to death, we struggle to make decisions and often miss opportunities. Increased stress and anxiety. Overanalyzing problems makes them seem bigger than they actually are, leading to unnecessary worry. Lack of action. Overthinking often replaces action. Instead of making progress, we get stuck in a mental loop. Decreased confidence. The more we second-guess ourselves, the less we trust our own judgment. Mental exhaustion. Constantly analyzing and worrying drains our mental energy, leaving us feeling exhausted and overwhelmed. breaking free from the overthinking trap. The good news is that overthinking is a habit, and like any habit, it can be changed. Here are a few ways to start breaking free. Catch yourself in the act. The first step to overcoming overthinking is recognizing when you're doing it. The next time you catch yourself stuck in a loop of worries or indecision, pause and ask yourself, am I solving a real problem, or am I just worrying? Is this thought helping me, or is it making me more anxious? Simply becoming aware of your overthinking patterns is a powerful step toward change. Set time limits on decision-making. If you struggle with overanalyzing decisions, give yourself a deadline. Set a timer for 5 or 10 minutes and make your choice within that time frame. Remind yourself that most decisions are not life or death situations. Making a choice and moving forward is often better than getting stuck. Shift your focus to action. Instead of getting lost in thoughts, focus on doing something. When you find yourself overthinking, take a small action toward what you're worrying about. Even a small step can help shift your mindset from overanalyzing to problem solving. Reframe negative thoughts. Overthinking often involves negative self-talk and worst-case scenario thinking. When you catch yourself spiraling, try to reframe the thought into something more balanced. Instead of "what if I fail?" try "what if I succeed?" Instead of "I'm not good enough," try "I'm learning and growing every day." Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is one of the best ways to break free from overthinking. It helps you focus on the present moment instead of getting lost in past regrets or future worries. Try simple mindfulness exercises like deep breathing, meditation, or even just paying full attention to your surroundings. Accept that you can't control everything. Life is full of uncertainties, and overthinking won't change that. Accepting that you can't control everything allows you to let go of unnecessary worries and focus on what truly matters. Final thoughts. Overthinking is a habit that keeps us stuck in our heads and robs us of our peace of mind. But the good news is that it's possible to break free. By recognizing when we are overthinking, shifting our focus to action, and practicing mindfulness, we can escape the overthinking trap and start living with more clarity, confidence, and peace. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into decluttering your mind, learning how to let go of thoughts that don't serve you and create mental space for what truly matters. Let's continue this journey toward a calmer, clearer mind. Chapter 2. Decluttering your mind. The power of letting go. Imagine walking into a room filled with piles of old newspapers, broken furniture, and random objects you no longer use. There's barely any space to move, and no matter how hard you try, you can't seem to find what you're looking for. That's exactly what happens inside our minds when we hold on to unnecessary thoughts, worries, and regrets. We create mental clutter that weighs us down and prevents us from thinking clearly. Just like a messy room makes it hard to function efficiently, a cluttered mind leads to overthinking, stress, and exhaustion. But what if you could free up mental space and experience clarity, peace, and focus? That's where the power of letting go comes in. Why do our minds get so cluttered? Before we can clear the mental mess, we need to understand what's causing it. Here are the biggest contributors to mental clutter. Holding on to the past. Many of us carry emotional baggage from past experiences, mistakes we made, things we wish we had done differently, or painful memories that still haunt us. Our minds replay these moments, keeping us stuck in a loop of regret and self-blame. Worrying about the future. Overthinking is often fueled by fear of the unknown. We stress about things that haven't happened yet, trying to prepare for every possible outcome. The problem is, no amount of worrying can guarantee a perfect future. It only robs us of peace in the present. Information overload. We live in an age of endless information. News, social media, emails, notifications, and opinions from everyone around us. Our minds are constantly bombarded with data, making it hard to focus and think clearly. Negative self-talk. The things we tell ourselves matter. If our minds are filled with self-criticism, doubt, and fear, It creates an internal dialogue that drains our energy and keeps us stuck in mental clutter. The need for control. We often hold on to thoughts because we believe they help us stay in control. But in reality, obsessing over things outside our control only creates more stress. Learning to let go means accepting that some things are simply not ours to manage. The cost of mental clutter. A cluttered mind doesn't just feel overwhelming. It has real consequences. Lack of focus. You struggle to concentrate on important tasks. Decision fatigue. Making choices feels exhausting. Increased anxiety. You feel mentally restless and stressed. Reduced creativity. Your brain is too crowded to think freely. Emotional exhaustion. You feel drained from constant overthinking. The good news. Decluttering your mind is possible. Let's explore how. Identify what's taking up mental space. The first step to decluttering your mind is awareness. Take a moment to reflect. What thoughts do I keep replaying? What worries keep me up at night? Am I holding on to past regrets or future anxieties? Write them down. Seeing your thoughts on paper helps you separate what's worth keeping from what's just mental noise. Release the past. Letting go of past mistakes and painful experiences isn't about forgetting. It's about freeing yourself from their grip. Here's how. Forgive yourself and others. Holding on to resentment only harms you. Accept what you cannot change. The past is done. Focus on what you can control now. Turn lessons into wisdom. Instead of dwelling on mistakes, ask, what did I learn from this? Stop worrying about things you can't control. We often waste mental energy worrying about things outside our control, other people's opinions, unexpected challenges, or the future. Instead of overthinking, shift your focus to what you can control. Your actions, your mindset, how you respond to situations. Whenever you find yourself overthinking, ask, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. Reduce information overload. Our minds are overwhelmed with information every day. To declutter, unfollow or mute accounts that drain your energy. Set screen limits for social media and news. Practice information fasting. Take breaks from consuming unnecessary content. Protect your mental space like you would a peaceful home. Only allow in what truly adds value. Replace negative self-talk with positive affirmations. Negative thoughts are like weeds. They take over unless you pull them out and plant something better. Replace self-criticism with empowering beliefs. Instead of, I always mess things up. Try, I learn and grow from every experience. Instead of, I'm not good enough. Try, I am capable and worthy. Speak to yourself like you would to a close friend, with kindness and encouragement. Create a daily mind decluttering routine. Just like cleaning a messy room, mental decluttering is something you should do regularly. Here are some simple daily habits. Journaling. Write down your thoughts to clear mental space. Meditation. Spend 5 to 10 minutes focusing on your breath to quiet your mind. A gratitude practice. List 3 things you're grateful for each day. It shifts your focus from worries to positivity. Single tasking. Instead of multitasking, give your full attention to one task at a time. Learn the power of let it be. Not everything needs an answer. Not every thought needs to be analyzed. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is let it be. If someone misunderstands you, let it be. If a decision doesn't have a clear answer, let it be. If you don't know what the future holds, let it be. When you practice letting things be, you free yourself from the need to control, fix, or overanalyze everything. Final thoughts. The freedom of a clear mind. Decluttering your mind isn't about getting rid of all thoughts. It's about keeping the ones that serve you and letting go of the ones that don't. A clear mind leads to more focus, less stress, better decision-making, inner peace. When you learn the art of letting go, you create space for clarity, creativity, and joy. In the next chapter, we'll explore how living in the present moment can help you break free from the overthinking spiral. Are you ready to embrace mental clarity, Let's continue this journey together. Chapter 3. The present moment. Your escape from the overthinking spiral. Have you ever caught yourself replaying past mistakes or worrying about things that haven't even happened yet? One moment, you're thinking about a conversation from last week, and the next, you're stressing about what might go wrong tomorrow. It feels like a mental whirlwind. One thought leads to another, and before you know it, you're stuck in an endless loop of overthinking. Overthinking steals our peace, drains our energy, and makes it difficult to enjoy life as it is happening. But there is a way out. The key to escaping the overthinking spiral is learning to live in the present moment. Why do we struggle to stay present? We spend so much time caught up in our thoughts because our minds are wired for survival. The brain constantly scans for threats, whether real or imagined, and tries to protect us by analyzing the past and preparing for the future. But in today's world, most of our threats are not immediate dangers. Instead, they are fears, doubts, and uncertainties that only exist in our minds. Here's what often pulls us away from the present: regrets from the past. We replay mistakes and wish things had been different. Anxieties about the future. We try to predict outcomes and prepare for every possibility. Constant distractions, social media, notifications, and endless information keep us from being fully present. Perfectionism. We overanalyze decisions, afraid of making the wrong choice. When we are lost in these mental patterns, we miss what is happening right now, the only moment that is real. The cost of living in the past or future. Being stuck in the past leads to regret, guilt, and frustration. Worrying about the future creates anxiety, stress, and fear. The longer we stay trapped in these thought patterns, the more we feel disconnected from life. Think about it. When you're lost in thought, do you truly enjoy your time with loved ones? Can you appreciate the beauty around you when your mind is somewhere else? Do you feel at peace when you're constantly worrying about the what-ifs of life? The answer is likely no. But the moment you bring your attention back to the present, everything changes. The power of the present moment. The present moment is where life actually happens. It's where joy, peace, and clarity exist. When you focus on what's happening right now, you break free from the overthinking spiral and experience a sense of calm. Being present allows you to think more clearly, without unnecessary mental noise. You make better decisions. Enjoy life more. You appreciate the small moments that bring happiness. Reduce stress and anxiety. You stop worrying about things outside your control. Improve relationships. You truly listen and connect with others. The more you practice being present, the more control you gain over your thoughts. Instead of letting your mind wander into the past or future, you choose to focus on what is real and meaningful. How to stay present and stop overthinking. If you spend years stuck in your head, staying present might feel difficult at first, but just like any skill, it gets easier with practice. Here are some simple but powerful ways to bring your focus back to the present moment. 1. Use the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique. When your thoughts start spiraling, use this quick exercise to anchor yourself in the present. 5 things you can see. Look around and name 5 objects. 4 things you can touch. Feel the texture of something near you. 3 things you can hear. Notice sounds in your environment. 2 things you can smell. Take a deep breath and identify scents. 1 thing you can taste. Pay attention to the flavor of whatever is in your mouth. This exercise shifts your focus from your thoughts to your senses, instantly pulling you into the present moment. 2. Breathe with awareness. Your breath is always with you, making it a powerful tool for presence. Try this. Close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Hold for a moment. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Repeat for a few breaths, focusing only on the sensation of breathing. Anytime you find yourself overthinking, return to your breath. It's a simple but effective way to regain control of your mind. 3. Focus on one thing at a time. Multitasking keeps us mentally scattered. Instead, practice single tasking. Oh, if you're eating, just eat. Don't scroll on your phone. Oh, if you're talking to someone, truly listen. Don't think about your response. Oh, if you're walking, notice your surroundings. Don't rush to your destination. By giving your full attention to one thing at a time, you train your mind to stay present. 4. Let go of the need to control everything. Many of us overthink because we fear the unknown. We try to control every outcome, but the truth is, some things are beyond our control. Instead of resisting uncertainty, accept it. Trust that you will handle challenges when they come. Recognize that you don't need all the answers right now. Allow life to unfold naturally, without forcing it. When you release the need for control, you free yourself from unnecessary worry. 5. Practice gratitude. Overthinking often focuses on what's wrong or missing. Gratitude shifts your focus to what's good and present. Each day, take a moment to reflect on one thing you're grateful for, one small joy you experienced today, one lesson you learned. By appreciating the present, you create a mindset that naturally reduces overthinking. 6. Engage in activities that keep you present. Certain activities help you enter a state of flow, where you are fully engaged in the moment. Try walking in nature, exercising, painting, writing, or playing music, cooking, or meditating. Find what works for you and make it part of your routine. Final thoughts: freedom through presence. The mind will always try to wander into the past or future, but you have the power to bring it back. The more you practice being present, the easier it becomes to break free from overthinking. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring responsibilities. It means handling them without drowning in worry. It's about experiencing life as it happens, rather than through a filter of endless thoughts. Right now, at this very moment, you have everything you need. Breathe, let go, be here. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to take control of your inner dialogue so your thoughts become your ally, not your enemy. Are you ready to rewrite your mental script? Let's move forward together. Chapter 4. Decision-making made simple. Avoiding analysis paralysis. Have you ever spent hours, or even days, trying to decide something, only to feel more confused than when you started? Maybe you faced a choice like, should I switch jobs or stay where I am? Should I buy this or save my money? Should I say yes to an opportunity or play it safe? Instead of making a decision, you analyze every possible outcome, weigh the pros and cons endlessly, and seek advice from everyone you know. Yet, the more you think about it, the harder it becomes to decide. This is analysis paralysis, when overthinking stops you from taking action. The truth is, no decision is perfect, and trying to find the perfect choice will only keep you stuck. The good news: decision-making can be made simple if you learn to trust yourself, set clear guidelines, and take action without overanalyzing. Before we explore how to simplify decision-making, let's understand why we struggle with it in the first place. Fear of making the wrong choice. Many people hesitate to make decisions because they are afraid of regretting them later. What if they choose the wrong career? What if they invest in the wrong business? This fear of making a mistake leads to hesitation, which often results in no decision at all. Information overload. In today's digital world, we have unlimited access to information. While research is valuable, too much information can become overwhelming. The more options we consider, the harder it becomes to pick just one. Perfectionism. Perfectionists often struggle with decision-making because they want every choice to be flawless. They spend excessive time analyzing every detail, hoping to eliminate any risk of failure. But in reality, no choice is ever 100% perfect. Wanting approval from others. Sometimes, we avoid making decisions because we're waiting for external validation. We ask friends, family, or even strangers what they think, hoping someone will make the decision for us. The more opinions we get, the more confused we become, overvaluing future consequences. While it's important to think ahead, some people get stuck in what if thinking. What if this decision ruins my future? What if I regret this 10 years from now? What if something better comes along later? This mindset makes even small choices feel overwhelming. The key to breaking free from analysis paralysis is to simplify the decision-making process. Here's how. How to make decisions with confidence. Use the 80% rule. Instead of waiting for 100% certainty, make decisions when you have 80% of the information you need. If you wait for absolute certainty, you'll never take action. Most successful people make decisions based on incomplete information, and they adjust along the way. If you feel 80% sure, it's time to move forward. Set a time limit. One way to break free from overthinking is to give yourself a deadline. The more time you allow yourself to think, the more you'll overanalyze. For small decisions, like what to eat or what to wear, give yourself 30 seconds. For medium decisions, like buying a new gadget or planning a weekend trip, allow 10 to 15 minutes. For major decisions, like career changes or investments, set a deadline, 24 hours to 1 week, and stick to it. The more you practice deciding quickly, the more natural it will feel. Limit your options. Too many choices create decision fatigue. If you're stuck between multiple options, narrow them down to 2 or 3 at most. Then, compare only those options. Instead of researching every possible phone model, pick your top 2 and choose from them. Instead of debating between 10 different career paths, focus on 2 that align with your values. When you simplify your choices, decisions become easier. Trust your first instinct. Your gut feeling is more powerful than you think. Studies show that our first instinct is often the best choice, but overthinking makes us doubt it. Try this. The next time you're stuck between 2 choices, flip a coin, not to let chance decide, but to see your reaction. If you feel relieved by the result, that's your answer. If you feel disappointed, go with the other choice. Your instinct already knows what you want. You just need to listen to it. Think in terms of good enough. Instead of aiming for perfection, ask yourself, is this choice good enough for my current needs? Will this decision move me forward instead of keeping me stuck? Most of the time, a good enough decision is all you need to make progress. Accept that no decision is risk-free. Every decision has some level of uncertainty. The goal is not to eliminate risk, but to manage it. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? If things don't go as planned, can I recover? What's the best possible outcome? Most of the time, even the worst-case scenario isn't as bad as we imagine. Take small actions first. If you're struggling with a big decision, take a small step instead of waiting for the perfect moment. Thinking about starting a business, test your idea on a small scale first. Unsure about a career move, take a short course or talk to professionals in that field. I can't decide whether to move to a new city. Visit for a weekend before making a final choice. Small actions help you gain clarity and confidence without feeling overwhelmed. Embracing imperfect decisions. At the end of the day, making decisions is about progress, not perfection. Every choice teaches you something, and even mistakes are opportunities to learn. Think about the decisions you've been overanalyzing. What if you just chose one option and moved forward? Would it feel freeing? Would it remove stress? Would it allow you to finally take action? Remember, no decision is permanent. You can always adapt, adjust, and make changes along the way. The most important thing is to keep moving forward. Key takeaways from this chapter. Decide with 80% certainty. Don't wait for perfection. Give yourself a deadline to stop overanalyzing. Narrow your choices to 2 to 3 options. Trust your first instinct. It usually knows best. Think in terms of good enough instead of perfect. Accept that every decision comes with some level of risk. Take small steps instead of waiting for the perfect moment. The next time you find yourself stuck in analysis paralysis, use these strategies to make decisions faster and with more confidence. Now, let's move on to Chapter 5, Mastering Your Inner Dialogue, Replacing Negative Thoughts with Empowering Beliefs. In this next chapter, We'll dive into how you can control your inner voice so that it works for you, not against you. Chapter 5: Rewiring Your Brain. How to build an overthinking-free mindset. You are not your thoughts. Imagine waking up in the morning, feeling fresh and energized. Your mind is calm, and your thoughts are clear. You no longer get trapped in endless loops of what if or why did I do that. Instead, you trust yourself, make decisions easily, and enjoy the present moment. Sounds like a dream? It's not. You have the power to rewire your brain and break free from overthinking. The way you think is not permanent. It's a habit. And like any habit, it can be changed. In this chapter, we'll explore how overthinking shapes your brain, how to break the cycle, and how to train your mind to work for you, not against you. The science behind overthinking. Your brain is like a supercomputer. Every thought you repeat strengthens certain neural pathways. If you constantly overthink, your brain becomes wired for overanalysis. Here's how it works. Every time you overthink a problem, your brain creates a stronger connection between neurons that reinforce worry, doubt, and fear. The more you do it, the easier it becomes for your brain to fall into the overthinking loop. Over time, overthinking turns into a default mode, making it feel automatic and difficult to control. But here's the good news. Neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to change, allows you to rewire these patterns. With the right techniques, you can weaken overthinking pathways and build new, healthier thought patterns. How to rewire your brain and stop overthinking. Recognize overthinking in action. The first step to changing your thought patterns is awareness. Overthinking often feels like background noise, but when you bring it into focus, you can interrupt the cycle. Watch out for these signs of overthinking. You replay past mistakes repeatedly. You struggle to make even small decisions. You analyze every possible outcome before acting. You worry excessively about things beyond your control. You seek constant reassurance from others. Once you recognize these patterns, you can disrupt them before they take over. Quick fix: the stop technique. Whenever you catch yourself overthinking, say stop, silently or out loud. This interrupts the pattern and brings your focus back to the present. Shift your focus from why to what. Overthinkers often ask why questions. Why did I say that? Why do I always mess up? Why can't I stop overthinking? But why questions lead to self-doubt and rumination. Instead, ask what questions. What can I do differently next time? What small step can I take right now? What is the best way to move forward? Why keeps you stuck in the past? What helps you focus on action? Train your brain with the 5-second rule. Your brain takes only 5 seconds to talk you out of doing something productive. If you don't act within those 5 seconds, overthinking takes over. Whenever you feel stuck, use the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. 1. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in your head. 2. The moment you reach 1, take action, whether it's making a call, sending an email, or starting a task. This simple trick short-circuits overthinking and gets you moving before doubt creeps in. Reframe negative thoughts. Overthinking is often fueled by negative self-talk. Thoughts like, I'm not good enough. What if I fail? I always make bad decisions. These thoughts feel real, but they are just stories your mind tells you. You can rewrite these stories with positive affirmations. How to reframe your thoughts. What if I fail? What if I succeed? I always mess up. I learn from every experience. I'm not smart enough. I can figure things out. When you consistently replace negative thoughts with empowering ones, your brain adapts to the new pattern. Limit information overload. Overthinking often happens when we try to process too much information at once. To rewire your brain, you need to simplify your inputs. Here's how. Reduce news and social media consumption. Limit your exposure to unnecessary information. Make quick decisions on small things. Don't waste mental energy on minor choices, like what to wear or what to eat. Follow the one decision rule. When making a choice, stick to it instead of second-guessing yourself. A decluttered mind is a calmer mind. Practice mindfulness to strengthen mental clarity. Mindfulness is one of the best ways to rewire an overthinking brain. It trains your mind to stay in the present instead of getting lost in worries. Simple mindfulness practices. Deep breathing. Close your eyes and take slow, deep breaths for 60 seconds. Body scan. Pay attention to each part of your body, starting from your toes to your head. Digital detox. Set aside time daily to be away from screens and distractions. Journaling. Write down your thoughts to clear mental clutter. The more you practice being present, the less control overthinking has on you. Take action, even when it's imperfect. Overthinkers often wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect certainty before taking action. But perfection doesn't exist. The only way to rewire your brain is to act before you feel ready. Want to start a project? Take the first step today. Thinking about switching careers? Start researching options now. Hesitating to reach out to someone? Send a message anyway. Your brain rewires itself through action, not overthinking. Underscore, 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 underscore. Conclusion: your mind is your superpower. Overthinking is just a habit, a pattern that you can break and replace with healthier thinking. By applying these strategies, you can train your brain to work for you, not against you. Key takeaways from this chapter: recognize overthinking and interrupt it. Ask what instead of why to shift focus. Use the 5-second rule to break hesitation. Reframe negative thoughts into empowering ones. Limit information overload to declutter your mind. Practice mindfulness to train your brain to be present. Take action before you feel ready. Progress matters more than perfection. Imagine a life where your mind is clear, calm, and confident. That life is possible, and it starts with training your brain to think differently. Chapter 6. The Art of Letting Life Flow. Embracing imperfection. The beauty of an unfinished symphony. Imagine a river flowing effortlessly over rocks, adapting to twists and turns without hesitation. It doesn't stop and question, am I flowing the right way? Or, what if I hit an obstacle? It simply moves forward. Now, think about your own life. How often do you try to control every detail, overanalyze decisions, or worry about things beyond your control? Overthinking often stems from a deep desire for perfection and certainty. But what if true peace comes from embracing imperfection and uncertainty instead? In this chapter, we'll explore how to let go of the need for control, accept life's unpredictability, and embrace imperfection as a strength rather than a weakness. Why we struggle to let go. Letting go sounds simple, but for many of us, it feels impossible. Why? Because our minds crave certainty, order, and predictability. We hold on to things because we fear failure. We want everything to be just right. We believe if we stop worrying, we'll lose control. We struggle with self-acceptance and want to fix everything. We replay past mistakes, thinking we can change the past. But here's the hard truth. Perfection is an illusion, and control is an exhausting myth. The more you try to force life into a rigid plan, the more resistance you create. The secret to a peaceful, overthinking-free life is learning to flow with life instead of fighting it. Step 1. Accept that imperfection is normal. What if imperfection isn't a flaw, but a natural part of life? No artist creates a perfect painting. Flaws make it unique. And no story is ever completely finished. There's always room for another chapter. No human is without mistakes. Growth comes from trial and error. Rather than seeing imperfection as a weakness, See it as a sign of authenticity and growth. Real progress happens when you allow yourself to be a work in progress. How to practice imperfection. Start before you're ready. Whether it's a new skill, a business, or a personal goal, stop waiting for the perfect time and just start. Allow yourself to fail. Instead of seeing mistakes as proof of incompetence, see them as stepping stones to success. Let go of all or nothing thinking. You don't need to do something perfectly for it to be worthwhile. Progress, no matter how small, is still progress. Step 2. Release the need for control. Trying to control everything is one of the biggest sources of stress and overthinking. The truth is, no matter how much you plan, life will always be unpredictable. Ask yourself, can you control how people react to you? No. Can you control every outcome of a decision? No. Can you predict the future with 100% certainty? No. The more you try to grip tightly to life, the more exhausted you become. True freedom comes when you realize you don't need to control everything to be okay. The letting go exercise. Take a deep breath. Now, imagine the situation that's been stressing you out the most. Visualize holding it in your hands like a balloon. Now, release the balloon and watch it float away. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you trust yourself to handle whatever comes next. Step 3. Embrace the present moment. Overthinking keeps you stuck in the past, regretting mistakes, or the future, worrying about what could go wrong. But the only place life actually happens is right now. When you learn to stay in the present moment, you naturally let go of worries that don't serve you. Simple ways to stay present. Mindful breathing. Take a deep breath in and focus on the sensation of air filling your lungs. Breathe out slowly. Repeat. Engage your senses. Notice the taste of your food, the texture of an object, the sounds around you. Daily gratitude. Write down 3 things you're grateful for every morning to shift your focus from worry to appreciation. When you train your brain to focus on what's happening now, overthinking loses its power. Step 4. Detach from overwhelming thoughts. Thoughts are not facts. They are just mental events passing through your mind. You don't have to believe or engage with every thought that appears. Try this, the cloud watching technique. Imagine your thoughts as clouds in the sky. Some are big and dark, others are light and fluffy. Instead of chasing them, just watch them pass by. Overthinking thought. What if I embarrass myself? New response. There's that thought again. I don't need to engage with it. Let it pass like a cloud. The more you practice this, the less power overthinking has over you. Step 5. Trust that life unfolds as it should. Sometimes, the best things happen when we least expect them. Think back to a time when things didn't go as planned, but ended up working out in the best way possible. Maybe a missed opportunity led you to something even better. Maybe a setback taught you something valuable. Life is like a puzzle. You may not see how all the pieces fit right now, but trust that they are falling into place. Adopt this mindset shift. Instead of, I need to have everything figured out. Try, I trust that I'll figure things out as I go. Flow like water, live with ease. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about freeing yourself from unnecessary struggle. When you stop fighting for perfection and control, life becomes lighter, easier, and more fulfilling. Key takeaways from this chapter. Imperfection is not a weakness. It's what makes life real and beautiful. Control is an illusion. The more you let go, the more peace you'll find. Staying present reduces overthinking and increases joy. Thoughts are not facts. You don't have to believe or engage with them. Trust the journey. Things often work out better than we expect. Imagine living with ease, where you no longer waste energy on things you can't control. That life is possible, and it starts with a decision to let go and embrace imperfection. Now that you've reached the final chapter, take a deep breath. You are on your way to a life free from overthinking, full of clarity, confidence, and inner peace. It's time to stop overanalyzing and start truly living. Conclusion. Free your mind. Live fully. Overthinking has held you back for too long. But now, you have the tools to break free. By embracing imperfection, letting go of control, and staying present, you can create a life of clarity, confidence, and peace. But here's the real question. What's one thing you've been overthinking lately? And how will you take the first step to let it go? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If this audiobook helped you, make sure to subscribe for more insights and like this video to help others find their way to an overthinking-free life. Your support makes all the difference.